joke about that one, but I mean, my burgers
Oh.
are good, sure. The key to a good homemade burger is laziness.
How so?
You just put it in the oven, set it to 400 for 30 minutes. Let it soak in its own juices in the oven.
Oven?
Oh, yes, in the oven. 400
You're
degrees, 30 minutes. I bake them.
Baking your burger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yes, it works. I mean, at the end of the day, cooking is here's ingredients, here's heat.
Oh,
Combine it somehow, but I mean,
what you gotta do though is you gotta really
to...
flatten the patty when you bake it, like really, like almost paper thin, because it expands. You don't want a tall burger.
Baking would be fine with the thickness.
Well, it'll be if you make it regular burger size, it'll be particularly tall.
Wait, why would a beef patty expand?
I don't know, but it does.
I mean, it's what, protein, fat, whatever. What would expand at all? If anything, those things shrink. The fat liquefies and whatnot. They get
no
smaller.
idea. But I do know that I need to take some clothes off and put all my stuff in Inkleobiter.
What is that? Could be. It just looks like they're just Kamala and some clothes.
Kamala.
Out in the field somewhere.
Isn't it Kamala?
Kamala.
Hey, that's a big difference.
The letters are all there. I'm putting the accent on the wrong syllable, of course.
On the wrong syllable. That's one of my favorite pronunciations. Oh, that and advertisement. I love saying advertisement.
Isn't that an actual legitimate way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I like to say it. I mean, anything's legitimate. All words are made up.
Yeah, but when they were made up, someone had a particular way in mind to say them.
And then decades later, that particular mind way was forgotten. I'm a naked cowboy again because I forgot to put away my hat.
Well, they should have written it down.
They did.
They could read it later, much like somebody would read an advertisement for aluminium.
Aluminium. You know, aluminium is spelled differently.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. We've got Dan Marino. We've got Flipper the Second. What do you want to name your dolphin?
Echo. Do we have an Echo yet?
We don't! Did I ever name an Echo? I don't think so. Man, I love that game. I couldn't get past the first stage, though.
Oh, here we go. We got...
So I usually like to get things up to 1,000 health before I give it other points and things.
This is a good plan. It keeps things alive longer. Not long enough for me, but longer.
I think the dolphin's slower than the alligator.
Really?
I know, right?
It's a dolphin. Its whole purpose is to be fast, streamlined, aquatic.
I don't know.
Volcano.
Maybe Sally was particularly statted to have movement speed by chance.
Could be. Wait a minute. I've never DoorDashed Red Robin. I could get a Red Robin burger.
Yeah, but is Red Robin any good if you don't get the unlimited fries? That's the point of Red Robin, is the unlimited fries.
Yeah. I wouldn't go there just for unlimited fries. I mean,
that's the only reason I go there. It's certainly not for their burgers.
Burgers are their thing, though.
Yeah, but it's okay burgers.
And do you need unlimited fries? They're French fries. The sheer quantity that you can get them in anyway, just be like, hey, go to any place for fries. Be like, yeah, I want a large
Yeah,
fry, or like
but they got good fries.
extra fries. Oh, okay, so both unlimited and good fries. Well, that's better. That's better.
Okay, Flipper the Second is about the speed of the... What is that? Some sort of whale? It's covered in mantas. Just covered. I don't know what that is. Can you check out my stream and tell me what that is?
Hmm? Oh, that thing. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Ah, yes.
I think I've linked them to you before.
Is it...
The sea cow.
Oh, it's a manatee.
No, it's not. Uh,
So Flipper the Second is about the same speed as... I don't have any of my arrows. As Sally. So yeah, it must just be particular movement speed levels.
like the mantas are going to be hostile and they'll try to kill you.
They weren't.
The thing they're attached. Well, you're far away. They're
like
busy. They're busy sucking on things.
Ew.
The thing they're attached to will give.
Are they
very little crap.
barnacles? I thought they were mantas.
Eh, they are. The thing they're attached to is not going to really give a crap about you unless you piss it off. It's a passive creature. The mantas, on the other hand, are less so.
Wait, did I ever... I didn't ride the sharks. Did I ride the sharks? Let's give Sally another test ride. So I'm watching the new BOFURI episodes.
There it is, Basilosaurus.
Ah, the Basilsaurus.
Yeah, they just kind of float around being slow, fat, happy bastards, getting sucked on by mantas.
I forgot I'm still naked. You remember, have you seen BOFURI? I don't want to get hurt, so I max out my defense.
No, I have not.
Okay, I was wrong. This Sarco is super fast. Super fast. Anyways, it's about some girl who's never played video games before, and her first video game is a VR MMO. As you do, VR MMOs are all the rage in Japan.
As one's first game ever, really. That's
Well, she's young, I guess.
right into the deep end.
Well, I mean, that's where things are going. VR MMOs. Eventually,
Yeah.
that.
As a first thing though, it's like by the time those things arrive,
I assume
the
it's set
adults
in the future.
the adults will have played something already, and the kids will have already tableted games. And I'm just saying, well, very few people are gonna just be like, I think I'll start playing video games today for the first time ever. VR MMO right there. That's where I'll start.
I
It could happen,
don't understand the reasoning, but sure. So that was her first video game, and she's setting up a character, and she's like, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. So she
Sure,
puts
makes sense.
all of her points into defense. Every single one of them.
We call that a tank.
We do, except she can't move. She moves inches at a time because she has no agility. So usually, apparently, the design choice is to have you have an array of points statted out.
Yeah, but also usually the bare minimums are still functional.
But
Even
it's
if
not
they
in this
suck.
game.
Apparently not, but
Yeah,
sure,
I mean, it's
anime, why not?
functional, but she's just quite slow.
So she needs a mount.
She
Or
does
she
get a
needs
mouth at a point.
she needs some friends to like carry her around on a chair, like palanquin style.
She
Whatever those things
does
are
do
called.
that at a point.
All right, there we go. It's nice to see the obvious solutions are in fact being used. Good, good.
She gets an ability that anyone around her radius is healed, but she's stuck in a chair, so she attaches the chair to her mount.
Nice.
And she's just riding around.
So does she ever actually like use that defense?
Oh God, yeah, that's the entirety of the show. She's this. She joins a event for the server for the game, a
Uh-huh.
PvP event, and people just wail on her, and she's just like standing there,
But
and
why?
because it's a PvP, you're supposed to kill people.
Right, and this massive like it's a one-on-one battles, it's free for all. I'm trying to imagine it's like
Free
with all
for
the
all.
dangerous things going on, why is everyone like, oh look at this random girl sitting in a chair in the middle of a field. Let's try to murder her.
Well,
And
she
then
wasn't sitting on a chair in the middle of the field. She had a stick and she was drawing in the dirt.
that's about as threatening as the previous circumstances. But it's like
The
it's
point
like
was she wasn't threatening, so they were like, ah, sweet, free points.
and then nothing happens, and then they should wander off and do something productive.
Because of reasons, she had a way to insta-kill them after a time, and she used that way.
Best offense is good defense, huh?
Well, she was like, well, I can't move at all, so I'll just sit here and play in the dirt. And anyways, the point is, she kept getting additional reasons to make her more and more powerful, more and more defensive,
Naturally.
and she just got like
Even though her defenses have presumably never failed.
well, sometimes it did. She got hurt. She felt some things.
Oh, she felt some things like just climbing slowly up that threshold. Because I imagine if the way she's built is nothing but defense, I imagine if something ever does actually get through, she has no ability to soak that damage. Like if something actually hits her, she's gonna topple. You got no hit points, no nothing. It's like she has two states: perfectly alive and fine, and completely dead.
I think the defense was hit points. Vitality. Vitality it was sometimes translated as. I think it was vitality. I don't know. Anyways, the point was, sometimes they'd show the devs complaining about her, and they'd put out updates specifically for nerfing her. Because, I remember now. She put a devour ability on her shield, and when people would attack her during the first event game, she'd have the shield devour them.
Sure, that's a solid build, yeah.
And the first of the maple nerfs.
Tank plus damage reflection, bam, done.
Her name was Maple. The first of the maple nerfs was you can only use that 10 times a day. I remember that now. Yeah. That's what it was. Anyways,
when developers start changing the game just to spite
just
you
to nerf one
specifically,
character.
that's the time to stop playing the game.
Well, it wasn't spite. It was she was overpowered because they're bad at making the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were so bad at making the game.
It's like game balance. Get some people to test this. Come on.
Well, they did have people testing it, but no one apparently put all their stats into all their points into one stat. which
Really?
makes no sense because in real games, that's what people do.
People will do that just for fun.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
look at the system. Let me mess with it.
Yeah, people do that just for fun. It doesn't
This is
make
what
any sense that no
queuing
one
does.
did that before. I don't believe that. But that was the premise, that no one did that before. So
Fair
at a
enough.
certain point, you gotta not believe. You gotta let the fantasy go through.
I mean, I find that part less believable than a fully immersive VR MMO. That's easy to believe. It's like, yeah, that technology will happen eventually, but people not getting their hands on the game and being like,
No,
how can I screw with the system?
no. This game was so fully immersive that at one point, when she was fighting a poison hydra, she also ended up with like full poison immunity. The Hydra wrapped her up and was picking her up and trying to do damage, doing nothing. But she was wrapped up and couldn't do anything. So you know what she did? She ate it to death. She just started chewing it, just bites. How is that programmed? Who would program that? There is no way that it was that fully immersive.
Well, that's not a question of immersive. That's just more of a. That's not how the systems. That's not how you make systems.
It was so immersive that the concept of chewing bits out of something was included in the game. Now,
at that point, you just made a physics engine, in which case, you don't need to make a skill system or anything else. It's like you just have physics going on. It's like, oh, well, how do we work out attacks? It's like they swing the darn thing, and if they hit. What about damage? Well, how sharp is the sword? What's the armor? It's like, look, you made a virtual world. Let physics just occur. Problem solved. But then you don't have player balance because now it is entirely dependent upon the actual people. It's like, well, how good are you at swinging a sword? Like your real life personal ability to swing a sword. It's like you're not playing a character. You got no stats. It's just you. You're in the Matrix.
I mean,
you're either good or bad at stuff.
I'd learn how to swing a sword for a game like that.
Yeah, you would. For that level of immersion and detail, sure.
Yes.
But at that point, it's not really. It's a horrible game at that point because there's no. It's not a game. It's just a simulation.
But
which completely defeats the point of like stats and builds and distributions and sticking all your points in defense, because those things would not coexist in a world that is also basically doing that level of simulation where it's like, yeah, rip out grass out of the ground, sure.
Oh, at one point
pick off scales and fight things.
Well, she fell asleep while in a forest, and things just started chewing on her, and that repeated damage ended up leveling up her defense even more.
Ah, yes, leveling up defense by letting a weak thing attack you forever.
Yes, that's
good old
basically
rats.
what it was. At another point, and she kept getting, what are they called? Titles? Let's say they're titles. I don't know what they're called. Where they give you bonuses to stats because of it. And they were like multipliers of her defense. They're like, your defense is now 5 times before. And that just kept upping.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have complained so much about the mechanics of including chewing something in a game like that, and someone has explained a reason for that I guess makes sense. I guess. The reason being that they have cafes in the VR, and they eat and drink at the cafes, so it was just an extension of that.
That's not a good excuse.
It's not a good excuse,
because
but it's possible.
The combat system and the item system are quite different.
It is. It very much is. But that could, if they weren't quite different, that could explain it. It's
But
not
again,
a good excuse,
bad,
but
yeah, it's a bad explanation because at that point your combat system is now overlapping. It's like bites is an actual form of combat. It's like, okay, does your attack matter now? Does the creature's defense matter? Because like she shouldn't be able to eat it because she's all defense. She has no attack stats whatsoever.
How does her
this,
teeth break the Hydra's defense?
Yeah, so she shouldn't be able to bite that thing.
She shouldn't.
I mean, she can like nibble it, but like nothing will happen.
But it's a sort of happy comedy slice of life VR game anime, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
You got to do a suspension of disbelief for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But do they not have the creators of the show never played a video game? Because come on, there's a line.
Not.
I hope not. I hope they have, because it's a video game anime. At one point, they showed the people in real life, and I had forgotten that they actually showed the people in real life. I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Because you never see the people in real life.
Oh yeah, are they trapped? Did they get isekai'd somehow, or is it just like
just the VR,
just a thing they do after school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Although the person who never played video games before, she started dreaming about it during school.
Well, hey, if it's that in-depth and immersive, yeah.
Fair.